Continue with our 3-minute daily dose of Torah, concluding our discussion of the plague of Tzfardeia. I introduced the other day the possibility that Tzfardeia is not frogs or frog, but rather crocodile, which is more interesting to us, of course. Egypt and the Nile, which was inhabited by this species, by crocodiles. That would be the plague, something very kind of more unique to the area than just talking about frogs, and of course then a much more dangerous. Although that's why we end up looking at the frog thing, it's pretty awful, but now a quite dangerous reality of crocodiles everywhere. The interesting thing to note is how that name Tzfardeia might come about, and it actually doesn't relate to the crocodile in this reading, but relates instead to another animal with a somewhat symbiotic relationship, parasitic or symbiotic relationship with the crocodile. The Yalkut Shimoni chooses to read in this midrashic rendering the word Tzfardeia as broken down, or the combination of the word Tzipor, Deia, a smart bird. A smart bird. Says the Yalkut, Tzipor sheyesh bo deya, b'sha'a shayu ha'ofot smeim, the time when other birds were hungry and thirsty, v'hayu mityarin lishtot mayim, they were all afraid to go drink water because of let's say animals snapping and eating them. He would call them and say, come and drink and don't be afraid. I'm not sure what he would call, but seemingly is it about the crocodile would call the birds, or this bird would call other birds? Not clear. Rabbi Professor Dr. Daniel Sperber, wrote an article entitled "The Frog Was a Crocodile," and he points out that in the Britannica there's a reference to a certain bird named the plover pluviensis aegyptus, an Egyptian bird, which had a habit of sitting on a crocodile. The crocodile would have its upper jaw raised. I think that's the difference between a crocodile and an alligator. Alligator's lower, crocodile upper, and it would sit on the top of its snout, so it wasn't generally too endangered, and it would often just eat parasites off the teeth of the crocodile. And it sounds like that was kind of the understanding. We often hear about such things, a very dangerous animal which has this symbiotic relationship with another animal which it could have otherwise caused harm to. The bird is extremely cautious and gives a call when fleeing from danger, thus also warning the crocodile. That's kind of the arrangement that they have. Just a very interesting conclusion to our week of study. I don't think the bird, even though Tzfardeia means like the smart bird, I don't think the bird itself was the plague. I think it was the crocodile, but somehow the animal which had a relationship with a very smart bird is how you would read Tzfardeia in this sense. And I hope this was indeed an interesting excursion for us all. Wishing you all a great day.